Hey guys, Buffing Game back today, bringing you a video for our favorite weapon series for our Warzone weapons, and today we're covering another Black Ops Cold War weapon here in Warzone, that being the KRIG 6, or the AK-5 as it's known in its real-life counterpart. Now, KRIG is actually the Swedish word for war, which is pretty interesting because this is, as I said, the AK-5, which is the Swedish variant of the FNC. If anyone's familiar with that, it is a German assault rifle firing in 5.56. So let's go ahead and we'll break down this weapon. Now, unfortunately, we don't really have the detailed stats as far as damage profiles with these weapons quite yet, because the damage profiles and all the real weapon stats changed so significantly from Cold War to Warzone to make them viable and balanced. So the damage profiles are not what they are in Cold War. So we're not really sure what the damage is with this yet. True Game Data and some of the other guys that do all those in-depth stats have not come out with that information yet. It's going to be quite a grind to figure all this out. So basically this is just going to be how the weapon feels, and I'll show a lot of gameplay in the back. We had a couple wins with this on stream, as well as just some wins I was getting when I'm getting some footage with this, playing with some folks. So this weapon really performs well, and when I first picked it up, wasn't a real fan in Warzone, and then I found the right combo for my playstyle. So let's go ahead and jump into this. We'll show the footage in the back, just running through so you can see how this thing really performs with the attachments I have here. So first off, we'll back out, and this is my final design for my AK-5C. Or excuse me, my AK-5. The AK-5C is the modern variant, which unfortunately we cannot make. So this is the AK-5. Now let's go ahead and we'll strip this thing down to base. And what I'll do is I will take the camo off this so we can see it nice and clean. So here's our base AK-5. Now again, this is the Swedish variant of the FNC. So first off, muzzle. Now what I was running with this to begin with was actually the SOCOM Eliminator, but then they did the change, I believe, like 2 days after the Cold War weapons came in, to the agency suppressors to make them handle or statistically resemble the monolithic suppressors for the modern warfare weapons. So this makes it more viable. So before, I'll show you guys after we build this what I was running compared to what I'm going to show you what I'm running here. But before I was running this, the only problem is, again, you're on the mini-map there. It did help with the vertical recoil, though. But however, now that they buffed the agency suppressor and they made it have sound suppression and damage at range, the cons, ADS speed, and aim walking steadiness. So before, it was opposite. It actually hurt your damage at range and it hurt your bullet velocity. So it didn't really make sense to use this. But now, again, it resembles a monolithic suppressor when we look at the in-game stats. So we'll go ahead and select the agency suppressor on this weapon. Now the barrel, again, this is an interesting one that I'm going to use here. A lot of people are using the 19.7 Ranger for the bullet velocity increase and or the 19.7 takedown, which is going to increase the effective damage range. So you get two of these barrels. Really, pick your pros and cons if you want better bullet velocity so you can hit your shots more consistently, or if you just want the effective damage at range and maybe you're going to lead your shots a little bit more. I didn't really like either of these for my playstyle. I find myself, because specifically I've been running a sniper rifle with all my weapons right now, I feel like something like a 15-inch CMV mil-spec barrel is the one for me that works best with this weapon. I tried all the barrels. Now, the unique part about this is the pros here being the damage increase. So again, we don't know statistically what that damage increase is, but it does have a pro for increased damage up to a certain range, right? It's not going to increase your damage at longer range. Plus, we have a shorter barrel here, so your damage range isn't going to be that much, as you can see in the cons. So damage buff to this being a pro. Now the other key there attachment is the strafe speed. So this is mainly built for, I would say, close to medium range engagements. And again, strafe speed, I can switch up targets, get eyes on target, and strafe my weapon side to side while ADS, etc. Just really increases the overall mobility so I can get eyes on target quicker with the weapon in close quarter situations, which is what I want with this build. The cons, again, max started ammo and the effective damage range, as I said, but you get the increased damage at those closer to medium ranges. So you'll see a lot of the engagements is my ideal engagement range with this weapon, and it just crushes. It is a really good weapon to have, like I said, for those close quarters to medium range engagements. And then when you don't need it further from that, I'm going to show you the Barrett that I'm using. But again, you're not going to want, like the 19.7, the takedown. You're trying to really, with these, this is kind of the modern warfare way of thinking, let's put the longest barrel on a weapon and kind of beam people at like kilo and growl range. But I don't think this weapon is really built for that. I think you want to engage at those closer medium ranges with this, and that's going to be the 15-inch mil-spec barrel. So we'll select that. We're going to skip out on the laser. Now for the optic, I'm going to go with the Vision Tech 2x. I really like this one, or the L-can here. So this is going to give us a 2x magnification. Again, no real pros or cons listed for this like we have with the modern warfare weapons, so we don't really know if it's really going to hurt our ADS speed and things like that. I'm assuming it probably will, but again, we don't know the stats for that as well. But this is really personal preference. However, whatever optic you're more comfortable with, for me, it just happens to be the 2x, and I'll show you the reticle I use with that. Now, the stock, we're going to leave the base stock option here, so we're not going to select anything for that. We're not going to use that attachment slot. I am going to use for the ammunition, we're going to go the Salvo 60-round fast mag. So again, this is going to increase our magazine ammo capacity from the 30 rounds of 5.56 by 45 NATO to 60. So we're going to double it. So we're going to pros here, going to be the magazine ammo capacity, reload quickness because it's a fast mag or a speed mag. You can see the attachment on the bottom of the magazine there, where you can pull that out quick and switch it. The max starting ammo and the ammo capacity is increased. The only con, ADS speed, because you're carrying around the extra weight with that extra 30 rounds in the magazine. So we'll select that. Then the underbarrel attachment seems to be a really consistent one with a lot of these kind of assault rifles. However, there's going to be another weapon I'll show you, which I opt for a different attachment, but the field agent grip. So this is going to assist with the vertical and horizontal recoil control. The cons are going to be the shooting movement speed with this weapon. So the KRIG tends to have a little bit of a vertical bounce with this weapon. This is really going to help mitigate that, as well as a little bit of that horizontal. It's going to help keep our accuracy on point there. You can see the accuracy is going to be increased. However, the mobility is going to go down a little bit, but it's definitely worth it for that increased accuracy. So we'll select that. And now that's our final design here for the AK-5. Now let's go ahead and look at the customization here. So for the camouflage, I'm just going to be running, you can see a couple different options here. I'm going to be running the platoon for the classic section there, and then just give it a nice woodland camo. Looks pretty neat on that weapon. And then for the reticle, two options I think are really good. The Recon is a very clean, nice optic, kind of resembling that of what you're used to with the reticle of something like a VLK. And the one I've been going with right now is the Hunter. So you can see that you have a couple really good options here, especially this one with the precision. But the Hunter really, I think, is perfect for me. It just gives you nice green reticle there with a cross in the middle. Really helps you just narrow in on your target and see specifically where you are. Really good precision reticle here, in my opinion. So the Hunter, we're going to go ahead and select that. And again, this is our final design for the AK-5 from Black Ops Cold War, being used in Warzone, our final design here. Now, like I said, this is mainly a close medium range weapon, and it does beat out, I have beat out some kilos at these ranges. If you use it at the right ranges, it's going to beat out kilos and other things like that. Now, like I said, I'm not building it for longer range like you would with like a kilo with the takedown or the Ranger barrel, because I'm running this M82, right? And if you guys have been watching my stream lately, and some of the videos I did do a video specifically on this. I have updated some attachments. I'll be doing an updated video on this with the final attachments here. But this thing, anything outside of the range with my KRIG or my AK-5, this thing's going to take care of it pretty easily. Best sniper rifle in the game, in my opinion, right now. I'm loving it. Fits my playstyle perfectly. You'll see here, double time, overkill, and amped for being able to swap quickly. We're running the Semtex and the stun grenade for this class. So again, here's our final design for the Warzone build for our AK-5, the Swedish assault rifle, the variant of the FNC, designed for the Swedish military. KRIG, meaning is a Swedish translation for the word war, which is pretty interesting that they called it that, the KRIG 6. And now just jumping into the gameplay back here again, I have a mix of different things from stream, and you'll see a lot of engagements here, especially in some of the stream videos. We engaged a lot of kilos. The time to kill on this is actually really nice. It has a really solid rate of fire. It seems to be in line, a little bit slower probably than the kilos rate of fire, or around the same. So you're able to control the recoil, specifically with these attachments, and get your shots on target pretty easily. Especially, like I said, these engagements that you're going to see me engaging here, it's anywhere between, I would say, 30 and 60 meters is really where I'm engaging a lot of this gameplay.
Downed him.
And that's going to be the ideal engagement range for this weapon, because with that 15-inch mil-spec barrel, that's really, like I said, you get that increased damage, and you'll see here in a lot of this gameplay, it just is able to crush people at close quarters, especially if you hit those headshots. It's going to give you that 1.5 times multiplier, it seems like, is going to be consistent with these Cold War weapons as well. And you're going to drop targets pretty easily. I do really enjoy this weapon. Again, like I said, paired with the M82 from Cold War, this is a lot of fun to use. I got a lot of good gameplay with this. It was a little bit hard to pick and choose, but I do prefer the mil-spec barrel over the Ranger or the takedown barrel. But again, that's my personal preference, mainly because I'm running the sniper rifle with this weapon. Pairing those two together, I don't really need a long-range assault rifle, but if you're somebody that's going to be running a long-range AR with, say, something like a close quarters weapon, more close quarters weapon, like a MAC-10, let's say, then you would want the Ranger or the takedown barrel so you can engage at longer ranges with the assault rifle, since you obviously don't have a sniper rifle. So you would want something with a little bit more longer range capabilities. So you'd want that Ranger or the takedown barrel for the effective damage range, or the bullet velocity increase that you get with those two barrels. So those are really the best options for this. Like I said, I used those two barrels, wasn't a big fan. However, I used those primarily before the agency suppressor received the changes that it did, and I was running the SOCOM eliminator to help with that vertical recoil. But the one thing I noticed is that the bullet velocity was just not good on this weapon for those longer range engagements. Now, granted, you could go with the barrel that gives you that increased bullet velocity, but in my opinion, just specifically for my play style, it's not worth it. Those medium range engagements is where this thing shines, and you're able to take down targets really quickly. And if you have a good sniper, like the M82, I think is really a perfect sniper rifle to pair with this, just because it is a semi-auto 50 caliber rifle. And again, if you have a good trigger finger and are able to control the recoil on that, you can get multiple shots on target with this thing pretty quickly with the M82. So you really don't need your KRIG here, this specific build, to engage anything very long range. So let me know down below what you guys think of this weapon. Again, this is the KRIG 6 or the AK-5. So it is the Swedish variant of the FNC, and KRIG, as I said, means war in Swedish. So great weapon. This is one of the more, I'd say, one of the best weapons to use from Cold War. I think a lot of people expected this to perform something somewhere similar to like a Kilo or a Grau, because it's low recoil, fast rate of fire type of assault rifle, and it does perform very, very well. I really like this weapon a lot. It seems to be very consistent at the ranges that I'm going to be engaging here in the video. So let me know what you guys think of this down below. What are your favorite attachments to run here on the KRIG 6? Do you run something different? Are you a fan of the Ranger or the takedown barrels, or do you run something different? Let me know down below. And also, what do you pair it with? Are you running a longer range engagement weapon for this, paired with something like a MAC-10 or something for really designed ideally for CQC, or are you pairing it with a sniper rifle like myself? I think this is a really good one. And I want to know your thoughts down below. Now, I do have another really good Cold War weapon coming, that being something we've already done a Cold War conversion on, being the AK-104 coming up here, probably tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see when I can spit that one out, but that's a really good assault rifle too. I think mainly right now the focus is on the DMRs, or the tactical rifles, being the DMR-14 and the Type 63 or the SKS. So I think the KRIG 6 here, really good alternative choice for those engagements. However, I did run into a couple of Type 63s while using this, and the Type 63, obviously, just with that increased damage and the lower recoil, did unfortunately beat me out. But there were two of them and one of me, so if it were 1v1, depending on the ranges, maybe I would come out on top. But the DMR-14 and the Type 63 are definitely, I'd say, top-notch weapons, along with the MAC-10 right now from the Cold War weapons. But this is a really good option. I'd say this is your all-around versatility type assault rifle here from the Cold War weapons. It really does everything well. It doesn't do anything great, and it doesn't do anything bad, but it does everything pretty well, and I really do think it shines here in these close quarters engagements. So let me know down below what you guys think of this weapon. What do you pair it with, etc. I want to know what you guys think. Now, also just a reminder, if you do like the content here, we've done a lot of Warzone conversions and favorite weapons, Modern Warfare conversions, Black Ops conversions. So if you're a fan of the channel, go ahead and like the video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That way you can stay tuned for more content. And now also we do have Buffmas running through Christmas Day at the least here on the channel. So I will be streaming here on YouTube on my usual days, being Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then also over on Twitch, which the link is down below in the description. So by the time this publishes, I'll probably be over live on Twitch playing some Tarkov with you guys. So go ahead and check that out. The link for the Twitch channel is down below. And if you're not able to watch today, go ahead and just give me a subscribe there or a follow over on Twitch. That way we build up that audience space over there, because we will be doing some more Twitch streams for some PC-type gameplay, being Tarkov, Sandstorm, and stuff like that in the future. So again, Buffmas now through Christmas. Go ahead and check out Twitch in the link below, and by the time you're watching this, I will be live over there. So I'll leave you guys with that. Leave you guys with some of the additional gameplay here. We did get quite a few wins with this weapon. We got 2 on stream, and then I think I got 2 or 3 off stream while trying to get some footage with this. A lot of fun, especially some of the gameplay you saw here from the streams. It was myself, Rylan, Kaz, Odin, and another one with that same crew plus Jug, and we got wins. And I think 3 of us if not 4 of us, were all running KRIGs. So I think if you have a KRIG squad here, it's actually a very, very effective AR, and like I said, it's deadly accurate, depending on what barrels you have. And even if you're going with something that opts for slower bullet velocity like me and damage at range, as long as you're able to lead those targets, it works well. You'll see some of those longer I did get stuck in some long range engagements with this thing, and again, not the most accurate, but it did the job. So you do have that 60-round magazine with this build, which can help you if you need to mag dump at range. So let me know down below what you guys think. I'll leave you guys with that. This is the KRIG 6 or the AK-5 for the Warzone weapons. Till next time, Buffner Gaming, out.
That's great.